Okay, so here's a quick rundown of my gear for an overnight. It's 2 days with 1 night, near or at zero or at freezing temperatures. I'll be hammock tenting in a solo trip. We're going to start from the left and slowly work our way over. Immediate left, this is a bushwhacking trip. So I've got my K-bar knife, my little folding pocket knife, my trek pole, which I don't go anywhere without. Rope beside it, a little bulky, probably should replace it, but I've had it a long time and it still works, so I don't want to get rid of it. It's a glow in the dark rope. I use that for my bear bag. Moving a little bit over, I've got some cheap carabiners. They're good for clipping stuff, like my clipping stuff to my ridgeline in my hammock. The Ziploc baggie that you see, that's for my cell phone that I'm using to record this. Moving a little bit over, that's a 11 by 11 foot light duty poly tarp with I believe that's a total of 50 foot 550 paracord. I've got it cut in a 24 length, which is the support line for it, and then the remainder of the paracord is for the pegs, already pre-tied on each corner. The pegs are actually inside the tarp. I could have gone with a nylon, coated nylon, ripstop nylon, but they're very expensive. And the coating eventually wears out and they do leak. These poly tarps with the paracord was probably about $12, $13 total. A little bulky, but I know I'm not going to get wet in it. Moving a little bit over, this is my Eagle Nest Outfitters Double Down Deluxe hammock. I've also got the two 10-foot 1-inch tree straps inside. The Double Down Deluxe is too big. I could have went with the double down or even the single. The double down is a bit nicer, a bit more room. The single's is fairly small, but it is a lot lighter. The double down deluxe, I can tell you there's enough material in it that I can flip both sides over top myself twice. So it's way too much material. Directly above that, I've got my my hiking sleeping bag. It's rated for 14 degrees Celsius. It comes out at about 1.5 pounds. It's got compression straps on it, which are not compressed at the moment, so it is kind of bulky. It does compress down to about the size of a softball. With that, because I'm going to be at about sub-zero temperatures, or at 0 temperatures, freezing, I do have my homemade sleeping bag liner. This was just some fleece in the bargain bin at a local fabric store. Cost was about $5. I have used that sleeping bag and this liner at freezing and actually below freezing last year. The 20-liter dry bag directly below the sleeping bag liner will house my hammock, my sleeping bag, my liner, and my clothing for the entire trip. Moving just a little bit over, I've decided on this trip I'm going to be using my 30-liter mech pack. This is a zipper down bag, not a top load, which is going to be very convenient. Especially if items are loaded in the bottom and you want to get access to them on the trailer or at site. You don't have to tear everything out of the top load. Real convenience with the top load. The bag is a bit heavier, but it does work. I don't remember the total weight of the bag itself. It does have a water bladder spot on it, or hydration pack, so I will be using that. Directly beside that is my food, which I'll go through in a minute, and another heavy-duty 20-liter dry bag, which I use as my food bag. I went with the heavy-duty bags. They are heavy, they are a little harder to pack, but they're rugged. You can throw them around, and realistically at camp, they are going to get tossed around. So I stick with the heavy-duty ones. I do have a 60-liter light-duty one, which is dramatically lighter. I believe it's a coated nylon, if I'm not mistaken. I don't use it. I haven't used it actually. I will use it eventually, but I don't like it because again, it's not heavy duty. You can't throw it around, it will rip. Moving a little bit over, I've got my 2-liter water bladder beside my food. Again, I'll go through the food in a minute. Immediately beside that, I do have, or below that, I do have my water filtration bottle. This is the second one I've used. Not the highest end on the market, but it does work. I haven't been sick during or after any trips, except for the Heaven's Gate trip where we had really greasy fast food after the fact, and that did me in. Below that is my collapsible Bunsen burner stove. It's slow, very slow. Takes about 15 to 20 minutes to boil a liter of water in an open pot. That being said, it doesn't blow out. It's very trustworthy. And fuel-wise, the one can on the left, I've probably got about 8 to 12 boils on it. It still has about half a can of fuel, so you're not carrying extra cans. So you start the boil before you start hanging the hammock and everything, and by the time you're done, your water's ready. And directly below that, I'll back up a little bit. I've got my coffee mug, which I normally use for my food. My plastic spork, which is not the highest end, but it is very light and does work very well. A 1 liter tin and a 1 liter pot. Again, keeping on the cheap. The nice thing with the liter tin, although heavy and bulky, it does have a hook on the top, or loop on the top, so I can carabiner it to my ridge line of my hammock. So when I'm eating or drinking, I can just have my drink, put the lid back on, clip it to the cord, and then it's out of the way. Also good for water at night if it's very hot. Moving a bit down further, I got a disposable rain poncho and one. Actually, I'm probably going to grab a second shake and bake hand warmer. Above that, I've got 2 tea light candles. Very good in case you get caught. I've never used them, so I may or may not carry them this time. But they are very good for lighting fires and so on. I've got a thermoreflective emergency blanket, just a cheapie, very noisy. Don't know if I'll ever use it, but I do carry it. Beside that, I got my first aid kit, which is an accumulation of training material from all the first aid courses I've taken over the years. I keep it. Good for a pack first aid kit. A little bit over, I've got my batteries for this trip. This is only an overnighter, and so I'm only carrying a spare set of GPS batteries and 1 camera battery for my Pentax WG1 camera. I will be doing a lot of documentation. This is actually a trail that I'm mapping. It doesn't exist yet, so I'll be doing a lot of photos along the way, so the 2 batteries should be adequate. I believe on my last trip, which was 4 days, I used 1 a little bit battery for the camera. For the GPS, these cheapy Kirkland batteries, I can get a full day and a little bit, almost about a day and a quarter per pair of batteries. So for longer trips, you can judge based on that. I've got my cigars for at camp, my head-mounted flashlight. Beside that, I've got my my Pentax WG-1 ruggedized camera. Not the highest end, getting kind of old, but it does work very well, and I always clip it on my chest cable or chest strap for my pack, so it's always available. Directly above that, I've got my Garmin Oregon 300. That is getting really old. I believe that I bought that in 06 or 07, the second week after they'd been released. Still use it, love it. I'll eventually replace it when this one breaks, but otherwise not going to replace it. Above that, I've got my my battery pack for charging my cell phone or running my GPS if needed. That is a 20,000 milliamp hour pack. It's getting a little old now, a bit bulky compared to the newer stuff on the market, but it does work very well. Also has a little LED light on it. My trusty little compass, some trail tape, which I may use a couple pieces here or there, but most of this trail is going to be mapped on GPS only. One thing a lot of people fail to mention is I do Ziploc anything that is not waterproof or certified waterproof. I won't be breaking all these keys, but I do have car keys that I will be carrying with me, so I got a Ziploc bag for that. So that is pretty much the gear portion of it. I'm just going to go through really quickly on the food. Now I will be eating breakfast at home because the trail is just down the road. So my lunch for the Saturday is going to be, I've got a pack of pepperettes and a Ziploc pack of granola bars. These are just Kirkland granola bars. They're about 100 calories per bar. So I could have gone lighter weight with the pepperettes, but I do love them, so that's what I'm staying with. Dinner for the Saturday night, I've got pasta. Pasta sauce. This bag here weighs about 73 grams. You can sort of see I've written on there add 180 milliliters of water, and that'll give you a cup worth of pasta sauce. There is about half a chicken breast in there. And then I've also got pre-cooked and then dehydrated spaghetti. I just threw it on a tray while I was dehydrating the pasta sauce. And that works out to, I believe that's about 600 grams of spaghetti when it's hydrated. I've also got a second pack in case I really get hungry of those. So that is my dinner. My intentions, I don't know how well it will work, is to throw the pasta sauce into the pot while the water, when I first turn the stove on, and then eventually when it comes close to boil, throw the pasta in to absorb the rest of the water. I've also got coffee, instant coffee, pre-packaged. I've got 2 packets of those. These are measured out. Those are 4 mugs, not 250 milliliters cups. 4 actual mugs per Ziploc bag. I've got 2 of those, so I've got coffee with supper or coffee in the evening. And then if I really have the munchies later that night and the breakfast for the Sunday, I've got 4 instant Quaker oatmeal packs. They're quick and easy to make. Don't require a whole lot of water. Unfortunately, the calorie output's not huge on them. And then again, for lunch on the go for Sunday, I've got another package of pepperettes and granola bars removed from their packages. As I've mentioned previously, I hate carrying garbage if I don't have to. So I, other than the Quaker oatmeal, which I probably could remove from their package, I do remove most prepackaged packaging and leave it at home just so I don't have to deal with it. The Quaker oatmeal is actually paper, so I can actually burn that. I more than likely will not have a fire because I won't have an actual campsite. I'll just be finding 2 trees when it starts getting dark and hanging. Besides that, that's pretty much the bulk of it. I will be having to do another video with my clothing. Unfortunately, I failed to do laundry in time, so that's my gear and my food. If you have any questions, post them in the comment area.